A Nigerian actress registered a famous movie title as her own. She had a certificate, she had the legal paperwork, and then a tribunal took it all away. Today on Lex Nigeria, we are breaking down the Domitilla trademark case, what happened, why the tribunal ruled the way it did, and what every creative in Nigeria needs to understand before they assume a name is their own. Stay with me, this one is very important. I'm Olaito and this is Lex Nigeria, where Nigerian law meets with life. Let's get into it. If you grew up in Nigeria in the 90s, I think, no, I believe you will actually know Domitilla. It's a very popular Nigerian movie and it was produced by Zeb Ejiro in 1996. It was so popular that it spawned a sequel in 1999 and then even till date, it is constantly referenced. And Njemanze starred in the title role. She became known with the name Domitilla, and that name followed her career. And maybe that's the reason in September 2020, she went to the Nigerian Trademarks Registry and registered Domitilla and device as her own trademark. This gives this particular registration means that she has the exclusive right to use that name in entertainment and related services. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Zeb Ejiro, the man who created, produced, marketed, and distributed Domitilla for nearly 30 years, he objected to this registration that was made by an Njemanze. And his argument was straightforward. He said this. Like it could be inferred that he meant the following. The goodwill in Domitilla belongs to me. I built it, I sustained it. An actress playing a role does not get to own the title of the film she appeared in. That objection triggered formal proceedings before the Nigerian Trademark Tribunal, and the four questions that came before that tribunal are the heart of this case. Now, let's think about this carefully because these questions matter beyond Domitilla. They affect every actor, musician, and creative in Nigeria. The first question: who was the goodwill in a work? Is it the filmmaker who created and marketed the work, or the actress whose face was known with it? And we should know that this is not just a moral question, it is a legal one, and trademark law has a very specific answer. Second question: was the registration made in bad faith? And Njemanze knew the history of Domitilla very well because she starred in the movie and then she starred in the title role. She was Domitilla when the movie was first produced. She knew it was Zeb Ejiro's work. Did she register the name genuinely believing it was her own, or the registration was just an opportunistic move to capture a name she knew was already famous, but the name was associated with Zeb Ejiro's work? Question 3. Did the registration violate Section 11 of the Trademarks Act? Section 11 of the Trademarks Act prohibits the registration of marks that are deceptive or that the applicant has no genuine distinctiveness in. The question now is whether Njemanze's registration fell into that category. Question 4. Could the tribunal revoke a trademark already granted? This question is a procedural one. It is also a critical one. Once a trademark is registered, can it be cancelled? And if it can be cancelled, on what grounds? Four questions. Now let's look at what the tribunal decided. In May 2023, the tribunal delivered its ruling and it was decisive on goodwill. This is in answering the first question. The tribunal held that the goodwill in Domitilla resided clearly with Zeb Ejiro, the producer. He had used the title commercially for nearly 3 decades. He has marketed the title, he has distributed the film, and he has sustained the cultural presence. Njemanze starred in it, but starring in a movie does not give an actor independent right to the film's title. That point alone should be held by every actor in Nollywood. On bad faith, The tribunal found that Njemanze knew exactly what she was doing. She was aware of the film's history and its association with Zeb Ejiro, the producer, when she filed her application. That conduct fell squarely under Section 11, deceptive, dishonest, and illegal registration. On revocation, the tribunal cancelled the trademark outright. It had been issued in error. The law gave the tribunal that power, and they used it in the Domitilla case. Was the tribunal right? Absolutely. And here is the reason. Trademarks exist for one purpose, to prevent public confusion and to protect the origin of goodwill. The goodwill in Domitilla was never Njemanze's to claim. It was built by Zeb Ejiro, the producer, over decades. Through real commercial efforts, the tribunal recognized that and they upheld it. The bad faith finding is equally important. One of the greatest threats to any trademark system is opportunistic registration, where someone tries to capture a name they know clearly belongs to another person. Nigerian law, consistent with international trademark principles, shuts that down. In this case, shuts down the opportunistic registration that is one of the greatest threats to trademark system. And on the question of whether Nigerian intellectual property law is adequate, this Domitilla case actually proves it is. The Trademarks Act provided the right tools, in this case, grants for refusal, protection of established goodwill, and powers of cancellation. The law worked because it was applied correctly and diligently. That said, there is room for improvement. Public awareness among creatives is dangerously low. Many actors, musicians, and filmmakers in Nigeria do not understand what they can and cannot own under intellectual property law. Clearer procedural guidelines on proving bad faith and goodwill would also strengthen the system going forward. The Domitilla case is not just a warning, it's also a lesson. Trademarks are not just about names, they are about goodwill. And goodwill belongs to those who create it, build it, and sustain it over time, not to those who simply appear in it. If you are a creator in Nigeria, an actor, a musician, a filmmaker, or a writer, the law will not protect you just because your face is on the work. You need to understand what you own. You need to protect what is genuinely yours. And you need to respect the goodwill of others. This is what Lex Nigeria is there for. Breaking down the law so you can use it. I'm Molaiton. This has been Lex Nigeria.